We're starting off laying down so that we can kind of allow the front body to peel open and allow the back body to just relax and the spine lengthen onto the floor. So come on down. And we want to think of being a little bit effortless here. So not really trying to do anything. So once you've fidgeted into your comfy laying down posture, just do that. Just try not to do anything. And we're just going to breathe deeply, just paying attention to the patterns of the breath for now. Notice, if you can, the length and depth and warmth and overall character of your breath. And intentionally deepen it. Drawing in your biggest inhale, feeling expansive across the front, back, and sides of your torso. And with your biggest exhale, could you completely clean out your lungs, using your belly muscles to draw the belly button towards your spine? And let go of maybe a little bit of tension that might be hiding in your muscles. And let's take several rounds of long, deep breath, just like this. Long, expansive inhales, finding a little extra space between your two shoulders in the front each time. And a little more release, a little more strength in the belly on each exhale. As you spend time here just breathing and being with yourself, this is a great opportunity to notice how your body feels. It's not often that we intentionally look at our bodies with our mind's eye and notice things. Notice the parts of your body that feel tense, maybe a little stuck, maybe like your jaw, your hips, your chest, places humans get a little bit locked up. But also notice the places that feel strong and open. Who knows? Maybe the back feels strong against the floor. The legs feel open. Who knows? Notice all of that equally. And after observing breath and then body, let's turn attention to the mind, please. It's always helpful to start out our practices knowing what's going on in the mind. Okay, without judging or changing anything that you see, please just notice your thoughts. Notice with amusement. And as always, compassion. And let's see if we can keep this deep breath and start to add a little movement. Take your arms out a little bit wide. It's like you're stabilizing yourself against the floor. And if your legs are long and straight, pull them in a little bit so your feet are up near where your hips are, but they're a bit wide. So you can walk your feet as wide as you like. I like to walk them even off of my mat. to get some nice movement in the hips. And we'll start to drop the knees side to side. So we're not really putting in a lot of effort here. We're not really working. We're just kind of letting gravity do this for us at first. We just want to wake up the hips gently. And notice not only are we moving our hips here, but we're moving our low back around a good bit. And you might feel some cracks and pobbles, and that's okay, as long as it feels good. And once things warm up a little bit in that internal and external hip, okay, internal and external rotators, which we're moving, you can start to activate this a little more, moving the knees downward more actively, okay, using internal and external hip. Maybe even using your upper body to push on the floor so that you can have more control over the movements of the lower body. And the next time your knees point up, let's pause there. And we'll walk the feet back in so they're about hip width and they're close to your hips. Hands on the floor by your hips as well. Let's start to warm up the back of the body. So with that being said, before we go up, before we go anywhere, put an imaginary tennis ball between your knees and hold it there. So I want you to feel that when you hold that tennis ball between your knees, there's a little bit of space, but there's an inward engagement. And hopefully you feel that inward engagement traveling up your inner thighs to your core. I want to feel the belly button a little bit strong, okay? So some core engagement as you lift your hips toward the ceiling, then drop them nice and low. And let's just take a few breaths here. We could think of inhaling to come up, then exhaling to come down. Some people like to do the opposite. Exhale up, inhale down. Do what's most comfortable for you, but please keep breathing. That's all. Okay, hopefully you notice your thighs, okay, your hamstrings, the back of the thigh, your glutes, working a little bit for you. And let's combine this hip up and down movement with a rolling movement in the spine, as if we wanted to lift one single vertebra at a time on the way up and place one single vertebra at a time down when we come down. Could you do that without losing the imaginary tennis ball between your knees? Sometimes they tend to want to point out to the side. So just recognize that, pull them inward. Keep it going, okay? We're keeping building this warmth. Maybe bending your elbows, pressing your elbows down into the floor. You can help activate your upper body as well. So moving this activation up into the upper back. Okay, should be feeling some nice warmth building. Keep moving your tailbone away from the top of your head as you roll up and down, as if you could get the spine a little bit longer each time. And next time you come up, let's hold up here and just breathe. So we have tailbone moving away from the top of the head. We have our tennis ball between our knees. Let's add one thing, friends. We're going to drag our heels as if we could pull them toward the shoulder blades. So you're going to feel your hamstrings really turn on, and you're going to feel your calves turn on too, your glutes. Keep the upper body strong, pressing down. And remember to breathe. Keep the knees pulling inward. Pull those heels toward the back of your head. Keep breathing. A little bit of a challenge here. Okay, we don't mind a challenge. One more big breath in here. And with your exhale, could you roll that spine down slowly, one vertebra at a time, tailbone moving away from your head. All right, once you come down, pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Okay, might involve kind of moving the hips around by circling your knees. And let's make sure we do the other way too. Okay, next time your knees are close together, tuck your hands behind your knees, and we'll rock up and down a few times, okay? Rock it up and roll it down. See if you can balance when you come up. Just balance on your hips. Rock it up and roll it down. Let's do that 3 more times. Come on up and down. Try to make it really smooth and fluid, even if it feels choppy and awkward, that's fine. Okay, next time you come up, see if you can hold. And here we are in a boat pose. So go ahead and drop your fingers behind you, drop your toes in front, and make your spine nice and long. It's nice to kind of push down into your fingertips and actually lift your big chest. Okay, keeping that, could you take one hand to the back of a knee, other hand to the back of a knee? Keep the spine long. Your belly button's pulling into your spine, friends. Your tailbone is tucking and pointing at your toes. Could you lift one foot, point it forward? Okay, maybe that's too much. Maybe you put it down. But we're going to lift one foot and kind of lean back a little bit. Maybe both feet come up. And you're floating in your boat. So remember, you can always come down with the feet, down with the hands. Kind of a spectrum that I'm taking you through the spectrum. So if you want to keep going, you could reach 1 or 2 hands forward. Okay, but remember your spine is long always. Your belly button's pulling in always. And the angle between your femurs, your thighs, and your spine doesn't change. It's about a right angle. If all is going well, you can extend your knees here. Reach your hands up. All right, so that's the boat spectrum we're going to play with. From wherever you are in your boat, even if your fingers are down on the floor, we're going to get your core activated a little bit. So here we go. Let's play. Rolling that belly button back to your spine, could you carefully place just your low back on the floor? We can call this a half boat, Ardha Navasana, and then we'll roll it back up to a full boat. Whew. Nice challenge. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, Ardha Navasana. Exhale, Navasana. Again, inhale, roll it back. Exhale, roll it up. Keep it going, roll it back. Then roll it up. Let's do that 3 more times. Roll it back. And up. 2 more times. Back. And up. I'm feeling that challenge. I hope you are too. 1 more. Roll it back. And roll it up. Okay, hold here with me. This is the best time to hold a boat after we've done several half boat transitions. So if you're holding your knees, go ahead and extend. See if you can challenge yourself. If your legs are already extended, pull them closer to the ceiling. Nice breath, long spine for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and drop your feet. And point your knees out to the right. Knees will point to the right. And we'll transition and start to open up the side body here. So transitioning to, I think this is called a mermaid pose. So you can imagine you have a long mermaid tail and you're a mermaid just splashing on a rock. If you point your left toes directly behind you so that your left knee points forward, your right toes can just come to rest on your left knee. So when you look down, you'll see this little sort of a triangle shape. Okay, you're there. Dropping that right hand on the floor beside you, you can lift your hips up, sweep your left hand overhead, and get a really good side stretch here. So enjoy that side stretch. You're inhaling when you're up, and you're exhaling to come down. We'll switch sides, but this time the hips stay down. So left finger's down, right hand up, big breath in, another big side stretch. Then exhale to bring it down. Let's do that a few more times. Side to side. So inhale to come up. Switch sides. Okay, maybe close your eyes here. Maybe you just watched me do it a couple times and now you don't need to. Okay, it feels nice to move without looking when we know we're safe. There's no fear of falling here. Okay, pay attention to the side body. So particularly the space between the left and right armpit and hip. Each time you reach up and lengthen, you should be feeling big spaciousness in there. So breathe into that. Okay, your breath is your biggest tool here. Maybe a couple more times on each side. Okay, next time you're down, let's pause and we'll transition again. Let's lengthen out this left leg. So that's the leg that you're leaning away from. And we'll put the left foot on the floor. And we'll use what we have on the floor to press up. So let's get this right knee directly under your right hip. You'll probably have to pick it up and move it so it's under your right hip. And you could spin the right lower leg, the right toes to point behind you. And take a moment just to settle into this supported side plank, okay? Bottom elbow is soft. Outer edge of the left foot is on the floor. And then we'll start to circle out this left arm, getting the shoulder warm. So to do that, we need to activate that left arm. So as you're circling it out, think about plugging it into the shoulder socket at the same time. Okay, make some really big movements. I want to get the whole upper body involved here. Let's rewind that. Okay, next time your left hand is reaching up, let's pause there. Come up on your right fingertips. Okay, so peel one right fingertip up at a time until your right fingertips leave the floor. At that moment, you're going to have to activate that core. So pull your belly button into your spine and breathe. Your upper body is shooting straight out from your left leg. A little bit of a challenge. If it's too much, you can put your hands on your hips and kind of lift yourself. But if you like this challenge, try reaching all your hands over to the right. Shooting straight out away from your left leg. Keep breathing, putting that outer edge of the left foot on the floor. Long neck. Maybe one more big breath in here. And then we're coming up to center. And you can take your arms wide here because we're going to keep going over to the left. But before we do that, let's rearrange this left leg simply by picking up the left toes and pointing them out to the left. We do want to put them on the floor. So that's probably going to mean at least a little bend in the left knee. Even if you don't have to bend it, just put a little bend in it for me, please, so it doesn't hyperextend. Okay, now let's keep going. Your friend is gently pulling you over to the left. So take a few breaths to get there, maybe 3 or 4 breaths to reach as far out to the left as you can. You could think of long spine inhale. Reach a little further, exhale. Again, long spine. Belly button is always moving in toward the spine to protect your low back. Reach a little further. Maybe one more breath, long spine inhale. Reach a little further, exhale. Okay, put your left hand somewhere on your left leg. If you like, you can have it on your hip to make this more gentle. Thigh, shin, anything but the knee, okay? Just promise me to skip the knee. Maybe even the foot or the floor. And here comes the right arm reaching up. And let's pause here. So if this kind of reminds you of a triangle pose, then it does. Yeah, it is. It's like a more floor-based grounded triangle pose. So we're still wrapping the belly button into the spine. We still want a sense of length along the right and left sides of the torso. Okay, we're not collapsing. And ground into your feet. Okay, in this case, one of your feet is replaced by your right knee. So gather up your inner thighs, pull the thighs in toward the midline. So we have that nice leg strength. And if all is going well, you can reach that right hand over to the left and maybe try to move your hips a little bit forward, keeping that belly button pulling in. So what are we looking for here? We're looking for a big opening on the right side. You might feel your right outer hip like I do. You might feel your right hip flexor. Who knows? Just keep breathing. One more big breath in here. It should feel really good in your low back. And as you're ready, let's come out slowly. So right hand is reaching back over to the right, and your same friend who pulled you over to the left is now going to pull you to the right slowly. Take a few breaths to come up. All right. Now here's where we're going to play around a little bit. So allow your right fingertips to come back to the floor, but lift up your left leg. We're going to play with balance. So come up on just one fingertip. So only one of your right hand fingertips is on the floor. Notice we have a nice little fulcrum here. The right knee is the center of your balancing spot. So if you move your left arm out to the left, you can kind of balance out the weight on that side. Try picking up that right hand, that right finger, and balancing on just your knee. Okay, your knee and your right foot, of course. Try it for a few breaths. It's challenging. Try it again and again and again. Pull that belly button into your spine. Maybe one more big breath here. And we're letting it go. Okay, right hand down, left foot down. Drop to your hips here and swing your legs around front. We'll shake them out. Excellent work, friends. We're switching sides now. So let's point our knees over to the left, and our feet will be over on the right, and we'll set up a different mermaid posture. Same thing, other side. So right toes point behind us, left toes tickle right knee, and we'll do that little side bendy mermaid movement here. So with your left hand on the floor, you can reach up and over with your right hand as the hips come up. So big breath in. Right side open. Exhale to bring it down. Switching sides, hips stay down. Inhale, left side open. And exhale, bring it down. Now you go side to side, your pace. Maybe eyes are closed. Okay, as you move, keep a sense of core engagement. So we're not just letting the core go completely. We have a little bit of engagement all the time. All right, next time you're down, okay, leaning over to the left, we'll extend that right leg. We want to make sure the outer edge of the right foot is on the floor. It should feel nice in your ankle when you do that. So get that little ankle stretch while you're here. And we have a soft bend in the left elbow. Let's press up to a supported side plank. Let's make sure we relocate the left knee. So you're going to want to put it under your left hip. So it's directly under there, and the left toes will point behind you. And if you do that, it should feel like a little kickstand. You'll feel more supported. Once you're supported and you're settled into your supported side plank, let's open up this shoulder, okay, this right shoulder. So activate the arm, plug it into your shoulder, and let's circle it out. Okay, make a big, strong movement here. Even the fingers are activated. Every muscle fiber in your arm is on. Let's reverse that. Okay, next time that right hand is reaching up, pause. Okay, come up on your left fingertips, engage that core. So wrap the belly button in. It's going to be holding up your whole upper body. Plant the outer edge of the right foot into the floor and hover the fingertips just off the floor, the left fingertips. So your upper body is now an extension of the line of your right leg. For less challenge, hands on hips, maybe fingers to floor. For more challenge, arms reach out to the left. That's a nice challenge. Keep breathing. Belly button in. You still have a lot of space around your ears. By the way, they're not smooshed against your shoulders. One more big breath here. And we're coming up, reaching to the right. Your friend is slowly pulling you up. And to the right. But first, before we lean out that way, we need to rearrange the right leg so that the hip can externally rotate. So let's point the right toes to the right. Slight bend in the knee, toes on the floor. Okay, and then we can keep going. Take 3 breaths to reach as far out as you can. Okay, length on both sides of your torso. Finally, choose somewhere to grab. Anywhere but the knee, really, okay? And maybe the left hand comes up. So here we are in Parigasana, okay? It's called gate pose. You can think of opening up your side body like a gate. And we do want length on both sides of the torso, so make sure that's a thing. And let's just breathe. If all is going well, wrap the belly button in a little more. And maybe reach the left hand to the right as you press the hips forward. Find space around your ears. Maybe close your eyes. Notice where you feel this posture and where you can let go. Take your time coming out, okay? Like someone's gently, slowly pulling you back up to the left. Activate that core, okay? The left fingers will come all the way to the floor now, and the right leg will come up. And it's time to balance. So eliminate all except one of your left fingertips touching the floor. The right hand is reaching to the right so that you can balance yourself more efficiently over this left leg. And we'll get the left fingers up and we'll try to balance. And you know what? It might not work today, and that's okay. But you know, and you tried, and it'll be different next time. That's one thing for sure. It'll be different next time. Okay, so try it a couple times. When I first started trying this, it seemed impossible. It was ridiculous how impossible it seemed. Okay, but keep trying. Maybe one more breath. Surfing on gravity. And as you're ready, all hands down, all knees down. Transition to hands and knees here, and I'll meet you right here. So let's take some cat-cows, pulling the heart forward on the inhale. Heart moves through your arms as your belly button pulls to your spine. And exhale. Cat pose, pushing the floor away. Let your head hang, maybe shake it out. Cat and cow, keep breathing, maybe close your eyes. And then find a little bit of a side to side movement here, so not just front and back, side to side. As you're ready, friends, find a flat back. Tuck your toes, and we'll press it up to our first down dog of the practice. Let's take some time here. Just walking it out. So notice the relationship of your hands and feet to the mat. The hands think of pushing forward, and the feet think of pulling back. You can always keep a big bend in your knees here. And if down dog is not feeling right at the moment or at all today, you can always replace it with hands and knees. So always feel free to make that modification. Here we go, friends. Let's start to move a little bit. With your inhale, pull your right leg up and out behind you. With your exhale, drop your right foot between your hands. Come on up on your fingertips. You're looking forward. You think of moving your chest forward. And if it's too much for the back leg, you can always drop the back knee. But we're going to move hips forward on the inhale and pull hips back on the exhale. So take a few breaths like this. Moving forward, inhale. Pull it back, exhale. And beginning to open up that right hamstring a little bit. And you're always welcome to combine the hip pull back with a nice flex in the right foot, like you're trying to point the right toes at your nose. As you move, put a little engagement between the knees, please. So your knees are subtly trying to pull together. And you should feel your inner thighs kind of gathering up inward towards your hips. Okay, next time you come forward, you're lunging, your right foot is on the floor. Make sure your back heel is poised perfectly over your back toes. The back leg is straight and strong like a tree trunk. And we're gonna come on up, engaging inner thighs toward each other. Crescent lunge with your inhale. Think of opening up your big chest to the ceiling. And with your exhale, drop your heart, drop your head, reach your hands back. Let's do that again. Keep the legs moving toward each other. Inhale, crescent lunge. Peel open your front body. And exhale, drop your heart. Let your back body open up a little bit. One more time, just like that. Big breath in. And let's hold it right here, guys, and breathe. You might interlace your fingers. Point your fingers at the back of the rim. And continue to move those knees toward each other. Belly button is in, heart is lifting. Could you drop the hips a little lower with this last breath in? And with your exhale, all hands down. We're sending it back to a down dog. Shake it out. Let's just take a little vinyasa to clear things up. Inhaling here, find your plank. Exhaling here, come halfway down. Pull your elbows into your ribs. Inhaling here, back up to your plank. With your exhale, walk to your hands. You can tiptoe. I like to tiptoe. And fold with your bent knees. Let's roll up on the inhale. Come on up. Think of lifting your heart. Maybe even a little tiny back extension here if that feels right. Hips move forward as your heart lifts. And with your exhale, we're going to fold. So bend your knees. Palms come down. Inhaling here, step it back to your plank. Exhaling here, come halfway down. Elbows to ribs. You can use your knees to do this, by the way. Back up to plank on your inhale. With your exhale, knees, chest, and chin come down. Elbows in. Inhale here. Find a nice cobra. Heart pulls forward. So use your strong arms to pull that heart forward. And exhale, down dog. Okay, walk it out. Notice how this down dog feels. The hands are gripping the mat, elbows moving inward. Okay, and your heels are moving out of sight, so you can't see them anymore. The kneecaps are trying to move up by your hips. All right, let's go. Inhaling here, left leg up and out behind. Exhaling here, left foot drops between your hands. Up on your fingertips, friends. Strong between your legs. They're trying to move together. So heart moves forward, long spine on the inhale. Could you keep your long spine as you exhale and pull your hips back? So beginning to talk to that left hamstring. Perhaps it's talking back. Take a few more breaths, moving just like this. The back knee can come down and it's more gentle. So feel free to make that easier on yourself, okay? Maybe putting a nice little left foot flex into the mix. Feels nice. Okay, next time the left toes are back on the floor, you're back in your lunge, strengthen your legs together. The back leg is like a tree trunk, heel over toes. Inhaling here, crescent lunge, peel open your front body. Exhale, drop your head, look back, reach back. Again, inhale, arms roll up and open. Exhale, bring it down. Keep the legs strong, keep them moving toward each other. One more, big breath in, coming up. And hold here. Interlace your fingers, maybe the different way this time. Fingers point back, legs squeezing together, heart lifting, keep breathing. Maybe one more big breath in here. And exhale, all hands down, down dog. Shake it off, let it go. And inhale here, find your plank. Exhale, halfway down. Maybe use your knees. Inhale to plank. And exhale, tiptoe to your hands. Knees bend and fold. Roll it up on your inhale. Maybe heart comes up. Maybe a little back extension. And exhale, fold. Palms are down. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, halfway down, elbows to ribs. Inhale, back up to your plank. And exhale, knees, chest, chin, down. Inhale for your cobra. Pull your heart forward. Exhale, down dog. Okay, let's hang out a little longer here and breathe in your down dog. Heels are moving down and back. Okay, find all your down dog check boxes and check them off. Hands grip, elbows in, face is soft. Let's get the right leg up and bend the right knee and circle out that hip. So circle it out. If you're feeling pretty good about this, you can extend the leg and use the whole entire leg. Big, slow circle. And let's rewind that. Okay, next time your leg is up, pause there. If the leg is extended, go ahead and bend the knee again. And we'll switch it up to a scorpion. So pressing strong, strong, strong into your right hand. Pushing so hard into your right hand. Move your right toes to the left. Hold right here and breathe. Could you also move your left hip back a little bit and look underneath your left armpit and wave at yourself with your right toes? Hi. Keep pushing that floor so your shoulders are level with each other. Nice. One more big breath in right here. And exhale. Swing that right foot forward. Drop the foot between your hands. Here we go, guys. Inhaling, crescent lunge. Come on up. With your exhale, shift your body weight forward, more onto your right foot, and lift your left leg into the air. We're in a warrior 3 now. Okay, I'm going to move aside because I have a small space. Okay, so arms can reach forward as that left leg reaches back. Okay, if that's too much, arms can reach to the side, of course. They can even come down. But no matter what, your hips and your shoulders are level with the mat. And you're breathing. The right knee can be softly bent, of course. But let's extend the left leg and point all those toes down. Hold and breathe. Find that strength. Let that heat build. When we hold these postures, we need that inner thigh engagement. So we need those knees trying to move toward each other. We want that heat building. Okay, carefully, could you get the right fingers to come down under your right shoulder? Pause here. If you have a block, you might have a block. You might put your right knee to be more bent here. We're going to bring the left hand to the left hip. Hold it right there. Decide if you want to keep going or not. If you want to keep going, pick up your left hip, stack it on top of your right hip. So now your left toes are pointing out to the left. Make sure to pull your belly button in so that left leg is still in line with your spine and it's not way back behind your spine, okay? If all is going well, you can reach up with that left hand too. And if you're still feeling pretty good, you can get those right fingers to just float up off the floor. So everything in your body, you should be all in the same plane. If I was going to take two pieces of glass and put them on either side of you right now, you would be just everything lined up between those two panes of glass. Keep breathing, friends. Let the heat build for 3, 2, and 1. Right fingers down, bend the right knee, left fingers down, left toes back behind you. Go ahead and drop the left knee and pause here. And we'll take a little time just to rock the hips forward and back again. Hopefully that right leg's got some nice heat in it. And then let's sink into a very low lunge. So the back knee is down. We might come down to our elbows here. Who knows? That might be too much, okay? You might have a block. You want to put your elbows on. But find a place to kind of sink in. We can walk the right toes and kind of point them out to the right. Let the right knee kind of fall out in that direction. Let your head hang. Maybe look at your hips here. Make sure they're level with the mat. So even though you're kind of relaxing into this posture, we do want a little engagement between the knees, please. So put that inner thigh, pull inward. Notice how that feels. And then let's change this up a little bit. So if everything's going well, look over at your right knee. You can come up on your right hand if you're down on your elbows. And we'll take the right hand to the inside of the right knee. And we're in a little twist. So keep that engagement between your two knees. Keep the neck long. If all is still going well, you can bend that left knee and pull the heel in towards your glute. And let's do that a few times. So flexing that left heel, flexing that left ankle so the toes point away from you. Put the toes back on the floor and pull the heel towards your glute. A hamstring curl. Again, on the floor, towards your glute. One more time, to the floor, to your glute, and hold. Perhaps the right hand could come back and hold the right ankle. Okay, if you got the ankle, I want you to give yourself a little resistance. So pull the foot away from you and think about peeling your heart open to the ceiling here. So you're kind of putting yourself in like a dancer pose. So foot pulls back, heart peels open, breathe. Let the hips still sink low. Let the legs still move toward each other. Should feel nice. One more big breath. And then come out the way you came in. So without exploding, we're going to put that left foot back on the floor. Right hand back on the floor. Up on your hands if you were on your elbows. And I'll meet you back in down dog. So take your time coming on back. Right leg should be feeling pretty good. And let it all go. Here's a little vinyasa. Heart moves forward. Inhale, plank. Exhale, halfway down, elbows to ribs. Inhale, back up to plank. And exhale, tiptoe to your hands. And fold. Roll it up, inhale. Maybe a little bit of a heart extension here. Back extension here, heart lifting. And exhale, fold. Palms are down. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, halfway down. Elbows to ribs. Inhale, back up to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Okay, find out how this down dog feels now. Take some breath. Shake it off. Set up your down dog. Take your feet about hip width, heels down, kneecaps up.
And then let's bring in that squeezing together of the right and left feeling. So I like to think of the two halves of my body as like two pieces of bread, and I'm trying to smoosh them together to make a sandwich. Feel that engagement just roll up through your inner thighs, through your core. Feels nice. Okay, let's get the left leg up, bend the knee. And we can circle out the hip here with a bent knee. Or if you decide everything's feeling great and you have plenty of space, you can use your leg extended. Big circles. And rewind it. Okay, next time the left leg is up, hold right there. Bend the knee if it was extended. Okay, before we start to move into that scorpion, press the floor with your left hand. Press, press, press. And then move the toes to the right. Okay, breathe here. Make sure the shoulders are level so you have extra weight in the left hand. Could we move the right hip back? And look under your right armpit and wave at yourself with your left toes. One more big breath here. And as you're ready, we're letting it go. Sending that left foot forward, drop it between your hands. Inhaling here, crescent lunge. So strong legs moving together. Transitioning to your warrior three. Exhale, take a leap of faith. Shift your body weight forward and launch the right leg up off the floor. Okay. If you have a small space, you're going to have to move back a little bit. Okay, hands reach forward. I'd say for your biggest shoulder challenge, for less shoulder challenge, just take your arms out to the side. You can even put them down. But find that balance. You want to have a nice soft bend in the left knee, but a strong right leg, pushing back, toes pointing down. Breathe. Okay, find that fire and let it burn a little bit. Notice where you feel this posture, what's working. Left leg, okay, core, back, shoulders. Where can you let go? What's going on with your face? Are you clenching your jaw? Are you squinching your eyebrows together? Just wondering. I was. Okay, here we go. We're taking left fingertips ever so carefully to the floor, perhaps to a block, perhaps bending the left knee more to accommodate. We're taking right hand to the right hip, pause. Intentionally pick up your right hip and stack it over your left. Now your right leg is externally rotating, but you haven't lost your core control and you're still pulling the belly button into the spine. Okay, maybe if all goes well, this right arm reaches up, the right shoulder stacks on top of the left as well. And if you're still feeling great, you can hover the left fingertips and breathe. Right, remember to breathe. Keep it breathing. So half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Again, pretend you're between two plates of glass. You're trying to keep all of your body parts in the exact same plane. Okay, let that fire burn for one more big breath in. And then all fingertips come down under your shoulders. The right toes come down to the floor. Find that low lunge. And let's rock it back and forth a few times. Okay, we built the heat. We stoked the fire. And now we can safely lengthen our tissues in the back of that left leg. So settle into that low lunge, and then we'll take both hands to the inside of the left leg if they're not already. Perhaps it's okay to come down to a block here. Perhaps it's okay to come down to your elbows. Feel free to kind of wiggle the left toes and the left knee to point out to the left. And then I want to encourage you to just drop your head here. Just let it go. Let it go. And even though you're in this low lunge, okay, it's a more relaxed posture than when we're up in a crescent lunge or something up in the air. We still want that same engagement between the knees. So bring in your Mula Bandha. Perhaps looking over to that left leg, you put the left hand on the inner left knee. And we can bring in a little hamstring curl on the right. So flex that right foot so the ankle is flexed. And we're going to pull the right heel in toward the glute and then put it back down. Again, heel to the glute, back down. Again, pull it in and let it go. One last time, pull it in, hold. Perhaps your left hand goes back for your right ankle. If all is going well, I want you to peel the left side of your chest open and look up and resist your own strength by pulling the foot away as you pull it in. So find some opening in that left side. Big chest open to the ceiling. One more breath. Release that right leg without exploding. Come out very methodically. And I'll meet you back in a down dog. Come on back. Last down dog of the practice. Take a moment. Just notice how it feels. And then we'll let it go. Inhaling here, heart moves forward. Exhaling here, drop your knees. Boom. Your hips are over your knees. Okay, walk your hands forward without moving your hips forward. So just figure out how far you can take your hands and then come up on your fingertips. Point your elbows out to the side. Keep your longest neck and your belly button lifting in towards your spine. Okay, we're headed for an open heart posture, Anahatasana. So keeping that open heart vibe here. Think about dropping your heart toward the floor. At some point, you may just hover there. At some point, you may drop your forehead. Some of you are going to want to drop your chin. Some of you are going to want to drop your chest. So it's totally different for everyone. But what is the same for everyone is we're all looking for that same spaciousness in that heart space, that neck, shoulder, chest, armpit area. Spread it all open. Make sure you still have a long neck too. Let's take a few breaths here. As you're ready, walk your hands back, up and in. Okay, that's just a sweet little back bend. I really like that one. And then just sit your hips to one side and we'll come to a seat. Well, find your favorite cross-leg seat, just whatever works best for you. And we'll just take one little twist before we end our practice. So take right fingertips to the left knee on the outside there, left fingertips behind you. Make your spine as long as you can on the inhale, and then exhale to look over your left shoulder. Let's take a few breaths here, please. Long spine inhale. Exhale, twist. Feel your ribs, your shoulder blades. And then coming back through center, we'll switch sides. So left fingers to the outside of the right knee, right fingers behind. Long spine inhale. Look over the right shoulder, exhale. A few more breaths. Okay, as you're ready, bring it back to center. Switch the crossing of your legs. And close your eyes. Find your longest spine. Sitting bones equally heavy on the floor. Maybe the belly button rocks back a little bit as you settle into your most neutral, most long spine. And your eyes softly close. Your breath is effortlessly coming through your nose. Maybe even a little tuck of the chin could lengthen the back of your neck that much more. Notice how your body feels. Notice how your breath sounds. And just take this moment to be with yourself and just listen. And please keep resting this way for as long as you can. Thank you so much for joining me.